Okay, this is Blade Knierim here, the woodworker, and today we're going to do some inlay. So, now that we have our pieces cut out, I'm just going to make a simple leaf. So now that we have our pieces cut out, we can take an X-Acto blade, line up how they go. One second. So if they go like that, or however they go, so line up this piece how you want it. So I'll just line it up there. Take an X-Acto knife and go around the edges so you leave an indentation in the wood that you will be carving out of. Now remove your piece, and now you can see that you have this line here where you need to cut out the waste inside the line so your inlay piece will fit inside. So if you want, you can just make that a little deeper. And now that we have that piece, I'm using my roto zip, which you could use a router, but I'm going to use my roto zip because I don't have a router that will do this very good, or a small enough router bit. So now that I've set the depth to the thickness of my inlay pieces, which in this case you just take your wood that you're going to use and set it, and then cut out your pieces on the bandsaw or scroll saw, and now you can start up your roto zip or router, plunge in, and go around to the edges. And make sure you have your piece clamped down good so it doesn't move away from you or doesn't get in the way so that you can't cut out your piece. Okay. So now we see that we need to cut out a little bit more. You could take that, or you can just go like this with a knife or a chisel. I think I'm just going to take a little more off. Well, I've went a little over, but now I need to clean out these corners. zips. This blade is bent. Now that we see that it will go in, if we tapped it in, we're good. So now, we'll take our other piece, line it up however you had it, or you need it. I'm just going to take it there. Trace out it with your X-Acto knife. Now that you do that, remove the piece, and you can trace it out better. And you could even take a pencil or something and put it and draw in the line so you can see it better, but you can see it pretty good just like this. Okay, so now that we have our other piece, go ahead and start carving that out. Okay, let's try this out maybe. Take our X-Acto knife, clean it up a little bit more. I don't have a chisel small enough, so I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife. And I watched a video on Inlay by the Wood Whisperer. If you don't know, if you haven't seen his channel, go ahead and check it out. It's pretty cool. I watched the video on his inlay, and he did it on a table. So this is how I learned how to do this. And some of it I've done my own way. I'm going to take the roto zip back to it. now clean it up a little more. Okay, now here comes the truth, which I think I might have messed up a little bit. So this piece will fit in there if I hit it with a hammer. Well, wait. Carve out a little bit over here. You just gotta find where it catches and just sand or carve away a little bit. Okay, so now that one will fit in there. Let's get this piece. And that one will fit in there. So I'm gonna go run and get some glue and I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have my glue, wait a second. Okay, I'm gonna have to use some Elmer's glue because my wood glue is frozen. So just put some wood or glue down in there. That's plenty. And pop them down in there. Okay, I did kind of a bad job, but we can take some glue, or if you had glue squeeze out, you don't need to put the glue there. Collect some of our sawdust, sprinkle on top, and rub it down into the cracks. It's better when you have glue squeeze out because then the glue is already down in the cracks also. And now, unclamp. I can take this clamp off. And now I can sand it down with my Bosch Random Orbital Sander that I just did a review on yesterday. And now where these holes line up, I'm going to make sure that they don't line up very much, because that way the sawdust won't be collected and it'll go into the cracks and fill them in. So now, whoa. put a little bit more glue and sawdust on it just to fill in some of the cracks. Right there and there. Get some more sawdust. I'm going to clamp it here so I can get this sawdust. Okay, rub it back into those cracks, just like we did before. And finer sawdust works better, so I can take off the dust collector on my sander. I can take some of this sawdust that's really fine and drop it down on there. And rub that sawdust in, because it's more finer, so it'll fill in the cracks better. Go ahead and put the dust collector back on. Get back to sanding. Go ahead and clamp this. And that's how you do your inlay. Let me get a better view on it. So that's 2 leaves into the board. So that's how you do your first inlay. So have fun trying out for your first time.